Think of an outlaw. The first outlaw. The most famous outlaw of all time. One name stands alone. Robin Hood.
I think the central thing that people respond to with Robin Hood is the idea that there's somebody out there that wants to, or is willing to redress the balance.
Over 700 years ago, people are telling stories about Robin Hood around the campfires and taverns of medieval England.
In those times, a massive number of have-nots against a teeny minority of haves. So Robin Hood would clearly be always against oppression.
He robbed from the rich and gave to the poor, and he's sort of a champion of the people.
Was there an actual medieval outlaw called Robin Hood? Who is the real Robin Hood?
I declare him to be an outlaw! Liberty by law!
Finding Robin Hood is a detective story. No one actually says that he knew Robin Hood. No one claims to have met him. So we have to be detectives.
By royal decree, Robin Longstride, also known as Robin of the Hood, and all who shelter him or aid him are declared outlaws of the realm. A nail, please, and a hammer. A nail!
Our search for the real Robin Hood begins with a closer look at the accepted details of the Robin Hood legend that have survived throughout the ages. According to the legend, Robin Hood lives in Nottinghamshire during the reign of King Richard the Lionheart at the turn of the 13th century.
If there was a Robin Hood, he probably lived somewhere between 1180 and 1280. Certainly that's when the legend will have been born.
One of the big questions about the Robin Hood tales is was he a Yorkshireman or from Nottinghamshire? Yorkshiremen and Nottinghamshire people are very, very passionate about it.
He is born into the yeoman class, neither rich nor poor, but becomes an outlaw.
You have to understand the word outlaw. Outlaw means you have been placed outside the law. Anyone has the right to chase after you and to kill you.
One way of escaping punishment was indeed simply to run away from the law, to become an outlaw, to go and live in areas that were less visited, that were in some way dangerous or off-putting, and where you're not likely to be looked for.
Medieval England was a densely wooded area and hazardous to travel. Going from town to city was very, very dangerous. First of all, there were outlaws. Thousands of outlaws living in the forests of England. Real, hungry, desperate men. And there were wolves. Wolves carried a bounty on their head, a price. And so it was that outlaws, like Robin Hood, were known as wolf's heads. They were people with a price on their head.